You say it's unlikely Tyron Smith is able to play this week, and how has Terrence Steele looked with an extra week of working at the left?
Terrence Steele will take all the reps at left tackle again today. You know, if Tyron doesn't practice tomorrow, he won't be available. That's kind of the timeline that we're on. So,
was surgery ever considered an option for this, or are y'all looking at that?
I mean, you know, I think you look at all the options, but you know, my understanding through the rehab process, he'll be able to come back.
With the decision on Randy to move him to IR, just how have these new rules changed the way that y'all have those conversations, and is it easier to make these types of moves and things because of the new window and the rules that the way they are right now?
Significantly easier. I think clearly the fact that you have a 3-week window, and when you're dealing with multiple week injuries, you know, fall into that timeline. You know, I think it's helped every team dramatically. I mean, the fact that you can put players on and off, and you know, and still utilize all the players you have in your building, and you continue to develop them too. So, yeah, I think it's a huge benefit, and I am hopeful that they stay with this roster structure moving forward.
Does anything about Randy's status impact DeMarcus's comeback and what you guys are doing with him?
No, yeah, it's separate. I mean, it's you got to trust the injury rehab process, and you know, it's, yeah, I mean, you know, return to play has to stay the same. I don't think you do that one way or the other. So, I mean, as soon as DeMarcus is ready, you know, we obviously like to get him back out there.
Still a couple weeks?
Making progress, yeah, probably be a couple weeks.
Jack mentioned that he felt like his footwork and mechanics were up last week, and that was contributing to his accuracy. How have you seen him approach that week, and how key is that footwork?
I think the biggest thing you see with Dak is, you know, we've been limiting him in footwork, the drills, particularly the quarterback school. So where this week he took everything. So I think just shows you the focus and the detail that he has in the fundamentals. So hopefully another week's, you know, full week of work, we'll be back where we need to be.
Some of the players talked about practices without their standard the last 2 weeks. How have practices been this week?
I thought yesterday's was a good practice. You know, we still had some corrections that, you know, it happens. You know, whether it's the look team not giving you the exact look that you're looking for, and you know, some of the adjustments. This will be a particular game where, you know, Atlanta's offense is in a lot of different personnel groups, so there'll be a lot of rotation, you know, and the ability to match it or not match it. And no different for us, you know, for how we're approaching the game. So there's more schematically and player-specific challenges this week than probably some of the weeks in our prior contest.
You have an angry team or a refocused team? How would you say what you've seen in practice this week?
What's the first one?
An angry team or a refocused team?
Well, probably a little bit of both, you know, and frankly, it kind of adjusted some things in the team meeting because I think they needed to loosen up a little bit. So, you know, I think they've been very accountable, and it was clearly reflected, you know, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So, you know, I feel confident that we'll respond.
What do you mean loosen up?
Just, you know, I think people handle challenges differently. You know, and I think, and when you try to define what focus or refocus means, you know, it's, you know, we don't want to change the personality or the energy, you know, level of what we got going here. You know, we talk about culture and character. This is when, you know, culture is reflected during adversity. I mean, it's all, you know, it's nice to go through stretches where everything's positive. So, you know, just the way they respond, and you know, a big part of our team is the energy and enthusiasm that they bring to the table every day. So we definitely don't want to lose that. What did you change in the team meetings to reflect that? Well, just cut it back a little bit, you know, just cut back on some of the things that we normally do. And we have a segment called Brotherhood where we spin a bingo machine with a ball comes out with your number and name on it, and you are given the privilege to come up to the room and speak on a few things. So that's what we did this morning.
Will also probably runs that game show, I assume.
And I'm a big fan of the bingo, so I can spin a mean bingo ball. So.
How many players usually came up this morning to see?
It's just periodically, you know. It's really, you know, just based on what's going on. But I think we did 4 guys this morning. So.
Is it like the NBA lottery where you make sure like the right balls come out of the thing and the right people are talking?
There was a time that may have happened, yeah. So it's Rich will appreciate it. It's more like the Nick Perry 777s or 666s back in.
Do you do this every Friday?
It depends. No, it's not like, hey, I do it every Friday. You know, it's something that we do throughout. We normally do it in training camp and then, you know, throughout the season.
And you felt this was time to bring it back.
Yeah.
It's because of.
Haven't done it in a couple of weeks, yeah.
Dak also mentioned the layoff yesterday. I guess from the outside, it doesn't seem like 3 weeks is an extremely long time, but what's your view of that kind of layoff when it's, you know, somebody playing that position at this kind of level?
Oh, I just think it speaks to the difference of, you know, the difference between being on or slightly off. I mean, I think you talk about time clocks, you talk about, you know, the efficiency of, you know, route running, particularly in the red zone, you know, all those little things. And I just think that there's nothing like live action, you know, and you try to emulate that in practice the best you can, you know, but you also have a safety risk, you know, that you're dealing with. But, you know, I think that's why we practice the way we do. And I mean, I think when you watch him work throughout the week, you know, his intensity in his workouts is unique. It's high, very high as far as, you know, the amount of time and that he puts into the little things. So not having the footwork drills and some of the things that we just, you know, we had to cut something back, you know, him coming off the injury.
Thank you.
Thank you.